Well, hello, welcome to Tarot to a T, Capricorn. Today's reading will be for April 2023. And I have kind of changed up my layout a little bit. I felt the need to, the urge, the inclination to change things up a couple weeks ago, and you'll just notice a slight difference. The same number of cards will be dealt initially, but then I'll pull separate cards for cards of advice if you've been with me before. And if this is the first time to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad to see you, as always. Also want to mention, keep a lookout in the description box for information regarding personal readings if you're interested in those. It's not going to be happening this week, but in the next couple of weeks, probably by the next reading. I hope to have that up and running. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up symbol if you like the video. If you would like to see an extended reading for your sign next time around. I don't have the time to do all those zodiac signs, so I'm just basing it on likes on the particular video to see who gets it each time. It's kind of like earning a little reward, you know. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what's going on for you. April 2023, 10 of Hearts. 4 of Clubs, 5 of Clubs, and 8 of Diamonds. Interesting mix here. Give me 1 second to get my first impressions. So the first thing that comes out is the stagnancy here with this 5 of Clubs. There's some kind of change that occurred. I'm feeling like there was a situation that was going on. Could have been around the home because there's the 4 of Clubs that tells me everything's in balance around that. And also, you could be trying some kind of entrepreneurial effort, like trying to get a business off the ground, or perhaps you've been working on it for a while, or some kind of project. If you're not in business for yourself, this is just some kind of solo effort. And you're striving towards the rewards that'll come to you if you keep at it. And there was some kind of change here because something I'm hearing something was stuck. Something to do with home and work and just things like not moving. Like maybe some kind of financial situation you were in, or something else that was going on, like with your car, a relationship. Anyway, the change came in because whatever it was that was occurring had to change. It was beyond needing an overhaul. As a result, you've wrapped up some kind of major cycle that's brought much happiness and celebration. This is a fantastic card. So it's like you had to get over whatever this was to bring about this balance again. But I have more cards, so I'm going to go ahead and pull those up. Queen of Clubs. Whoa! That's incredible. 10 of Spades and the 10 of Diamonds. The King of Clubs, you can see that even though I can't speak. 2 of Hearts. Major completions, major chapters wrapping up. Now the 10 of Spades tells me there's something in the past that was some kind of major loss, or something you had to go through and like heal from. You know, it's kind of that long drawn out, I don't want to say disappointment, because that kind of doesn't bring the same impact as like trauma. It's somewhere between disappointment and trauma. Let's put it that way. Something that impacted you greatly. But the 10 of Diamonds is some kind of major cycle that's wrapped up with finances. You've achieved some kind of prosperity and success here. Not sure why those two 10s would be together. Honestly, I'm not picking up an initial interpretation of what that would mean. It's like, so something wrapped up that brought you prosperity and success that was particularly traumatic. If that makes sense to you, it doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, the first thing I think of is like inheritance, like somebody passes away But you normally wouldn't be in success. That wouldn't be a success. You know, see, the two energies don't really make a lot of sense to me. But I'm going to keep going here. So you might have a lot of fire sign energy around you. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. The Queen of Clubs is that, as well as the King of Clubs. Now, the King of Clubs is a little bit more controlling and dominant. I feel like these could be people. Different people, not necessarily gender. So don't look at the Queen as female and the King as male. It's not necessarily about that. It's just one has perhaps a little bit more power and authority in life in general, and the other one has got their own, but it's on a more subtle level. I feel like this could be support around you. Honestly, the Queen and the King often offer generosity and support. They're kind of like having that good friend, the confident support you can lean on in tough times. They offer strength, advice, guidance in times of when things are going rough for you. There's also this desire for companionship. Not sure if you're desiring companionship with a fire sign. Again, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Or that's still kind of just an overarching theme that you haven't found that special someone. It's about needing that connection, that one-on-one. It's usually not about a group or being attached to, something like that. It's the one-on-one intimacy, the balance, the harmony that comes between two people when things are going right. Yeah, I'm seeing kind of a strong inkling towards needing or wanting a connection with a fire sign. I'm going to leave it there, but I draw more cards about Capricorn situation. April 2023 is looking pretty unique, pretty complicated at the moment. Okay, stress around work. That kind of falls in line with this Eight of Diamonds and needing some kind of change to happen. That was kind of, along the same lines. Because the Eight of Diamonds, again, is that entrepreneurial effort, something you've been needing to put a lot of time and energy into. But the Eight of Spades is that call to release some kind of pressure around work. This probably speaks more to a Capricorn who's in an employment situation, like working for someone else, honestly. Because often it's like a problem with a particular person, or you're being asked to do too many things, work too many hours, and it's that kind of pressure. And it can occur on any level, emotionally, physically. Everything else looks fantastic in that sense, especially with that Ten of Diamonds up there. And that Ten of Spades, it just occurred to me, could be that you left a bad work situation that was particularly ugly for some reason not known to me, and as a result, you're achieving great success and prosperity at the moment. Especially with the Eight of Diamonds, about maybe you took the initiative to get yourself out of that situation. That could have been the stagnancy too. The Seven of Diamonds tells you to be careful with your finances. Okay, it's about avoiding gambles, unnecessary financial risks. So I see that your financial situation is very solid at the moment, which is always good to know. King of Diamonds. Yes, you could be dealing with another earth sign, and this could be you, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is the diamonds, the pentacles. But the king is about taking control of those finances, having a good head on your shoulders. Everything is balanced. You're able to budget and use your common sense in spending. I'm hearing using your common sense. Perhaps you've come out of a period where you weren't using such discretion, and now you really feel like you have control over those financial situations. Because I'm not picking up that's another person, since it is that earth energy. And you are embarking on some kind of new start where you're learning a new skill or obtaining new knowledge. I don't know, upping your game in some way. It may have to do with the stagnancy in a work situation again. I feel like that's very pivotal, and I think there's different scenarios that are coming out about it. Either you're self-employed or you're employed by somebody else, but there's stagnancy around it. Perhaps if you're employed by someone else, you've really felt the need, the call to go for some kind of promotion or be recognized in some way so that you can step up a little bit into a new position. So that requires study, skills, some kind of certification. And if you're self-employed, this is obvious. I think this is an ongoing process in self-employment. We're always trying to improve ourselves and gather information and learn what we need to learn to keep growing. Let me get some tea here. Sorry, my throat's kind of dry. I think that's why I keep stuttering. I am going to go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Oh, that's too many. Okay. Jack of Spades. Six of Spades. And also I want to thank you for being patient. I know the readings came out a little bit late for April. So I'm trying to... always try to get them out by the 1st, and I don't know, I had a lot of craziness happen that kind of interfered with all the signs did not come out before the 1st. Some of them did. Okay, so the Jack of Spades tells me you're a little bit, well, you could be dealing with an air sign. I'll put that out there first. Also with the Queen of Spades. It's Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini energy, but the Jack of Spades I tend to see is the person or sign I'm reading for being distrustful, not trusting what's happening around them. And being a little suspicious of the future, perhaps. Because the Six of Spades here is about destiny and fate. You could be just feeling a little bit on shaky ground about your future. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm picking up here. But you could be dealing with a younger air sign. Now, the Queen of Spades is very tight-lipped. People suspect a lot about her, and not necessarily female, but just for convenience, I'm using the pronoun there, that because she keeps things to herself. You could be being advised to keep this uncertainty to yourself right now. Honestly, I see that come out in readings, and you think, well, what in the world would that mean? Why would I need to keep my mouth shut? You never know. I mean, so you may be thinking along the lines of something that you think is going to occur, or some kind of move you have to make in some way, some kind of change, and it's just saying to hold off on that. Don't let that out. Don't put it in stone by telling everybody around you this is what you're going to do. Because it may change. At the moment you may not have a lot of confidence in your path. But this is destiny and fate. Whatever is occurring at the moment was part of your path here. And I don't think it was particularly pleasant. I think it was a mix of pleasant and very unpleasant, honestly. I think that's kind of what this Ten of Spades, Ten of Diamonds, the contrast. I see a lot of contrast here. Because you also have the stress around work, but you also have great happiness and celebration. I mean, it's almost, a little Jekyll and Hyde-ish. On the one hand, things are fantastic. On the other hand, not so much. But everything is leading you to a new place. This is the card of travel, and I don't think necessarily physically traveling. I think it's more symbolic in this case. I mean, yeah, you may be able to travel in April. Of course, that could be along with it, along, the lines of everything else. But I also see it as maybe moving from one mental space to another. It's almost like you've although I didn't see the card of personal growth, it still may come out, but it's like you've moved from one maturity level to another. That's simplifying it, but every experience we go through adds to our repertoire of our experience and what we're able to handle going forward, and the knowledge that we gain from that. I kind of see it as that. It's like everything that's occurred to you. You have all the tens. It's wrapped up some kind of major cycle, like whatever was stagnant for a while. All of that is wrapped up because the change occurred. There was some huge change. I'm definitely picking up that for you in April, Capricorn. Some huge change. Like I said, I feel like it's something that's been in your life for a while, and it got to the point where it needed to go. You're at a crossroads decision. This card is actually probably representing the need to kind of slow down, look at all your options. It's like sitting at the T in the road, not necessarily make a decision at the moment, kind of sit on it. There's also some stubbornness around this, and Capricorn is, as with I think earth signs in general, they can be stubborn, kind of stuck on ideas. I think what I'm gathering from that is you need to kind of take a breather and kind of let it rest at the moment. Don't make any like rash decisions, especially with that Fate and Destiny card. I just see a lot of like, it's kind of like I said, no matter how unpleasant it was, whatever you're going through has been necessary for your growth. The Three of Clubs and the Seven of Spades. Now, the Three of Clubs is about some kind of stress and worry, getting pulled in two different directions, and as a result, there's stress. Seven of Spades is some kind of epiphany, something coming to light that previously was hidden, previously you weren't aware of, some kind of truth. I'm picking up that there's going to be some kind of truth revealed around the stress and the struggle that you've been going through. Whatever that is. I'm not seeing exactly what that struggle is, to be honest, and I don't always see the physical, actual facts of the situation. I just kind of get the emotional imprint because I'm more intuitive. But you're going to come to some kind of realization, or something is going to unfold where you realize what was really going on. And it's not a strong romance reading. This isn't necessarily about romance, which is also very cryptic. I mean, it's like, I think it's just stuff going on in your life with probably involving people. Could have been those fire signs, although I don't necessarily associate those with people giving you a hard time. I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the impression I'm getting. But things are still very much in the air, and you don't know what's ahead. Yeah, this is the Fool card. Fool card reminds us that we don't have a crystal ball. It could be a little anxiety provoking, I'll admit that. But, things are still very unsettled at the moment, probably on the heels of this change that needed to occur. And when we don't know what's ahead, yeah, we have these suspicions. We have a little bit of distrust. It's like being on shaky ground and just like needing to steady yourself because you're not quite trusting what's going on, even though your feet are on the ground. The ground is moving. It's unsettled. You can kind of picture it that way. That's the visual I kind of got from that. But again, I just want to emphasize, for some reason, you're being advised to kind of keep your mouth shut. Maybe it will help you in averting some trouble down the road. And the only reason I say that is if you are familiar with the law of attraction, the more times we repeat something to ourselves, but also to other people, it kind of puts it in stone. It's kind of like what your subconscious starts to expect to happen, and guess what? That's how it unfolds. That's exactly what happens. Whatever you've been putting out there, even if it's just the worry, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between something that's imagined and what's real. It just takes the information and gets to work on manifesting it. So even if you're imagining the worst case scenario and it hasn't happened, you don't want to reinforce that, because you'll inadvertently attract it. You see what I mean? So by keeping your mouth shut and like keeping those feelings a little bit, I'm going to say bottled up, but not going around spewing negativity. Honestly, I'm kind of seeing that you just kind of need to hold back on that. As strange as that sounds, sometimes that's what the advice is. I've had it come up before, not a lot recently with other signs, but getting a very clear vision of that on this reading. Okay, I am going to wrap it up here. If you would like to see when the next video comes out, make sure to hit subscribe notifications. Also, hit a like on the video if you would like to see extended readings for Capricorn next time around. And don't forget to check that description box for information about personal readings, as well as donating to my virtual tip jar at the Buy Me a Coffee site. Okay, and thank you in advance if you're able to make a donation to help support the channel. Okay? I will see you again soon, Capricorn. Take care.